Hey everyone, Draco Prime 220 here, and since Rodan spoilers, if you've seen my video, Sayonara Titan X, hello old friend. There are spoilers in that video. If you are curious, go check it out. If you're not, if you want to see the video after you watch the episode, go ahead, and if you want to check my video, go ahead. But also today, I am making a video about Rodan. Finally, after 7 years, Rodan is back. Man, and I'm 34 years old. Holy crap, I feel old. It's been 7 years since that big fiery pteranodon showed up, so it's about high time he's made a big comeback. And I do know Apple TV did say they were going to be going into more bringing in monsters that old and new, so they're pretty much living up to their word, bringing in monsters old and new. So, but my thoughts is about Rodan and what his role or her role, if there is two Rodans in the Monsterverse, similar to the 1956 movie Rodan, where Rodan had a mate in that film. Because I don't know how, if Rodan in Mexico was kept in a volcano, how is he here in Thailand? You know, my same thinking is there's two of them, a male and a female. But, I get a very bad feeling Rodan's going to be in a lot of trouble. Rodan, I really get the feeling, is going to be the secondary monster we follow in a potential Season 3 when and if it's greenlit, which I'm getting a strong feeling it's going to be greenlit. With how good it's on the top 10 adventures category. It's number 1 in the top 10 adventures category. Its rating in Rotten Tomatoes, the cast, and on top of it, and also Isabella and Kintaro are still on the run. It would be pretty stupid just to leave it on a cliffhanger where we don't find out, does Kintaro succeed? Does he realize that he made a mistake? Does Isabella get away? Or does she meet her end at the fearsome wrath of Titans? And on top of that, it's like a similar pattern. Season 1 ended with Kong's brief little cameo, showing that Kong is going to be taking pretty much center stage in Season 2. And this could be the similar thing with Rodan, since Rodan has gotten a lot of love, and this is Rodan's 70th anniversary. And let me tell you, like with Godzilla, I'll say the same thing. For being 70 years old, Rodan, you looking fire. Pun intended. But, I do get a feeling with Season 3, when and if it is greenlit, I do think Rodan is going to be playing a very big role. I think Godzilla, will show up depending on what part and time this takes place. My guess, it might be, I don't know when it may take place, but I do see Rodan taking center stage. Do I see Godzilla showing up? Yes. To what capacity? I don't know. Now the question is, if this is a different Rodan, does this Rodan make a pit stop at Skull Island? And will Kong have a role to play in Season 3? Now think about it. If Season 3 focuses on Rodan, we may get Godzilla and Kong separately fighting Rodan. Now, those are two fights. One we've seen in a couple movies, but never its own thing. And on the other hand, we've never seen, except in the recent DC Monsterverse comics, Kong fighting Rodan. We've never seen it done on the TV screen or in the movies. So this would be good opportunity for Godzilla to have a proper fight with Rodan and Kong to have a proper fight with Rodan if this Rodan decides to make a pit stop. That's if this is not the same Rodan that's in Mexico. So, Rodan's going to probably play center stage. Whether this Rodan's more friendly I don't know. Seems Rodan's a bit of a hothead. Once again, I promise that's the last pun. But here's what's concerning me. Since their little plan failed with Titan X, Kentaro and Isabella, I fear they're going to try and use Rodan. Because who says they got to go back to the volcano to get Rodan? If Rodan leaves that volcano and starts flying around and ends up in a place where Isabella and Kentaro can use him, that's not good. You dealt with a water titan, now you're dealing with a fire titan. That if you enrage that, what happens when that one gets too mad? Like, if you implant the same things you did on Titan X / Kokai, what's going to happen to that Titan, to happen to Rodan, if you get him too enraged? Will he become Fire Rodan? I know he has, now before I say anything further, I know he comes out of a volcano and he has, like, magma volcanic-esque powers, but we haven't seen him really do anything fire like. He flies over with his immense supersonic flight and his massive, the heat he emits, he does cause damage. But think about it. We could get Fire Rodan. What happens if they put the same things they did in Titan X, making Rodan so enraged he literally becomes a phoenix, an inferno, like literally Fire Rodan, and they pit him against Godzilla? What if they try to do the same thing? They try to have Titan X kill Kong, because they knew because Kong would be the only one to stop them. They know Godzilla is out and about. He's wherever he's at. What if they do the same thing? Like, they want to enrage. What if they see a side of Rodan where he gets so mad he emits some power that is very devastating, and they think of, like, enraging him, keeping a portal open, like there's maybe there's another volcano. Better yet, maybe if this is a different Rodan, it senses the other one dormant in the volcano in Mexico, and it's heading there. And then maybe they want to use there's like a Axis Mundi portal near that volcano, and they capture this Rodan, enrage it to the point where it becomes Fire Rodan, have it fight Godzilla, and kind of the same thing happens, but maybe a little bit different. And what if this Rodan stopped at Skull Island? Maybe it's trying to find a new home, or maybe it's migrating, or not similar to Titan X, but maybe it's just trying to find a different nest. Because maybe humans attack it, and it's like it attacks them back, but it realizes it's not safe. It's acting like an animal. It's not acting like a full-on monster. It is a kaiju, but it's like a giant migratory bird just trying to have a nest to roost in, and it needs the heat to keep it, the way it is. What if it relies on heat, and every time it gets away from, a certain area that is good for it, it's got to keep jumping from place to place? This could be a globe-trotting, like, not just where it's from Tokyo to Skull Island to Australia, but like with the original Rodan movie. Rodan was sighted and its mate were sighted all over the place. Maybe they could do something like that. And what if this Rodan makes a pit stop on Skull Island and wants to make its home there? But due to its heat and destructive nature of how when it flies over, it could cause sonic booms and emits immense heat, Kong doesn't want it on the island. We could get a nice fight that has never happened on film of Rodan fighting Kong. Would be a nice homage to the 1933 King Kong, when Kong fought the Pteranodon when it caught Andero. And also, if this Rodan fights Godzilla, this would be like an official Godzilla versus Rodan. There is no, like, other monsters really involved in the fight. It's just Godzilla and Rodan. Because, to be honest, I'm actually very surprised we never got a Godzilla vs. Rodan movie. I'm surprised we never did. I'm actually shocked, because they made Godzilla versus King. They made King Kong versus Godzilla, Godzilla versus Mothra, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, and Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. And those guys are part of the Big Five, and Rodan is one of them. I've never actually stopped to think about that. I'm actually surprised they never made a Godzilla versus Rodan. And this is like I said, this is the 70th anniversary for Rodan. So maybe we could get a, since we're probably not going to get a lot of anything for Rodan's anniversary this year, so maybe they're making it up for season 3, where Rodan takes center stage, pretty much. I don't know, but I'm concerned if Kentaro and Isabella try to control Rodan and do the same thing like they did with Kokai, I think it's going to be worse. Because I know this sounds like a pun, but it's not. But you never play with fire. Fire cannot be controlled. Like, you light the spark, it could spread. It's dangerous. It's similar with the Jungle Book, like Mowgli taking a torch from the fire from the man village to confront Shere Khan. One little spark is all it took. This is worse. This is like putting a bunch of like the volcano is the bomb, and Rodan is the fuse. You light that fuse, all hell's breaking loose. But, yeah, my thoughts, and we don't know, they're gonna probably even introduce other monsters. Like, I'm not saying other Toho monsters, but maybe, new ones, like, or some returning ones. You never know. Maybe Behemoth, maybe, Abaddon, maybe Orochi, because I know they said in one of the outposts, Orochi was in one of them, I think in Japan. I think that'd be kind of cool. You never know what they're going to do with Season 3. They could really make this the biggest one. And if they were to end it with Season 3 as the official, like, this is the wrap-up of the Monarch Legacy of Monsters, because they want to do Monster Kingdom and Cryptozoology, we haven't heard much about those yet. Maybe at San Diego Comic-Con we'll hear something. I have no idea, but maybe, I don't know. Hopefully we hear something about Supernova, but I am keeping my expectations low, and, because if I keep them too high and there's nothing revealed, it's going to be very disappointing. So you keep your expectations low, and if something does happen, you're more surprised and you get more pumped. It pays off better. But my thing is, there's a pattern. They revealed Kong at the end of Season 1. Kong had a big part to play in Season 2. Rodan appears at the end of Season 2. Rodan's probably going to play a very big role in Season 3, when and if it's greenlit. But from the sounds of everything, from how good it's doing, despite certain people having some very negative criticisms, I see Season 3 happening. Now, if a hypothetical Season 4 does happen, I don't know if it will. If they were to do a Season 4, I would if they said, let's go one more season, I could see Season 4 being the last one. Now, if they're going to do the same thing, like have a monster at the end and tease that this creature's going to have a decent role to play in that next upcoming season, here's what they can do. Now, hear me out. What if they do something similar? Like, let's just say there's like a scene, like maybe Lee Shaw, I'm just going by how Season 3 could end if it happens. After the whole thing with Rodan, Godzilla, and potentially Kong, Lee Shaw ends up in the Himalayas. Let's say he goes there because of another Titan sighting. And all of a sudden, the ground shakes, and the mountain, it starts an avalanche, and Lee Shaw, like, looks up, like, him and some of his people that followed him, they're, like, saying, don't go up there, you can't go there, and they decide to, just retreat. But then some of them, of course, get buried during the avalanche, and then he looks up, and then, lo and behold, we hear a very iconic screech. Sorry. And it's and you see, like, it's shaking off the dirt and the snow off it, and lo and behold, it's Anguirus, a living one. Not the one that we saw the skeleton of in King of the Monsters. And that's where, if potentially Season 4 happens, that's the monster that could play a big part in the 4th season. I think that'd be amazing. We had Kong play a big part in season 2. He was teased in season 1. Rodan was teased at the end of season 2, big part in season 3. Anguirus is cameoed and teased in at the end of season 3, and season 4 can be about Anguirus. I think that'd be perfect, because Anguirus is not really an aggressive kaiju. He is more peaceful, but he's very durable and he's very popular, and I really think he'd make a good monster to follow. Because Anguirus does not really... he will fight when needed, and he's an underdog. He's another underdog we can all root for. Like, Kong is a bit of an underdog when it comes to fighting Godzilla, but also is Anguirus. And also, he's very durable and determined. That's what kind of makes him, like... Godzilla's like, I respect you for that. And think about, we could actually follow Godzilla trying to locate... Maybe Godzilla's trying to find him. And Anguirus, and we go more into how maybe Godzilla had a bond with the Anguirus species or something, or something like that. And maybe we can go behind, like, have flashbacks to what happened to that Anguirus that we see as a skeleton in King of the Monsters. How did that one die? You know, and go into why maybe Godzilla is determined to follow this Anguirus wherever he goes and try and connect with him. I don't know. I think that could work. Maybe by the end of season 3, Kentaro kind of realizes, damn, I screwed up. I'm sorry. But maybe he has to really do some soul searching. He's no longer a problem, but I do see him taking a more antagonistic role in season 3 when and if it happens. But maybe by the end of season 3, and if a potential season 4 happens. Now, everything I'm saying about season 4 and how season 3 could end is all a theory, all my theory, and it's not confirmed. But maybe that's what could happen. He does some soul searching, and in season 4, a potential season 4, he rejoins the team to track down Anguirus and a Godzilla on the move. I don't know. I think it could work. I think it could do good. But, yeah, these are my thoughts on what potentially Rodan could do and what could happen to Rodan in a potential season 3. All we gotta do is wait and see if it's greenlit, and when it is, all we gotta do is wait. They start filming, and then we'll see what happens. But, I don't think they'll reveal anything just yet. I could be wrong, okay? I can be entirely wrong. Maybe they will reveal something when they start, or either after finishing the Lee Shaw series, because maybe they're going to want to get that out of the way first, since that comes out in July, starts filming in July, sorry. Maybe they want to get that started and finish filming first before they announce Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 3, whether they're doing it or not. So, all we gotta do is be patient and enjoy what's coming our way. We got Godzilla Supernova. Probably marketing is going to start with that soon, since Monarch Season 2 is over. We got Godzilla Minus Zero. Second part of Shinjuku Burns called Tokyo Disappears. We got Godzilla World, the movie for the Godzilla World film franchise that Toho is going to be doing. And we got a possible, maybe potential Season 3 of Monarch, with Rodan possibly being the head monster we follow. And we got those 2 other ones in the works, Cryptozoology and Monster Kingdom. But yeah, we're going to be eating good for quite a few years, everyone. If you're a fan of kaiju, you better get out your napkins, your forks, your knives, your spoons, whatever, and your drinks, because we're going to be eating a lot. So, can't wait to see what comes up next. Really excited for the Lee Shaw series, and welcome back, Rodan. We've missed you. Glad to have you back. And happy 70th anniversary to the fiery Pteranodon. So until then, I am Draco Prime 220, signing off.